Okay, so today I am making chicken and rice. This is something that really stretches a meal. I have 14 ounces of chicken, and if you're wondering why does this woman always work with 14 ounces of chicken, actually a pound of chicken works for this, but I order food through Imperfect Foods, and their little packages of chicken breast comes in 14 ounces. There is the answer to that, but 16 ounces of chicken works for this. I already cut it into small pieces, and to season it, I am using a Trader Joe's chicken blend seasoning. It's basically turmeric, garlic powder, some salt or celery salt, onion powder, and it has a couple of other spices in it. But you can season your chicken however you like. Use the sazon that you like. I also have a half teaspoon of onion salt, a quarter teaspoon of onion powder, a quarter teaspoon of lemon pepper, and a quarter teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to give that a mix, and that's what I'm seasoning the chicken with. I'm just going to give this a good mix and just let it hang out. This chicken is cold, so I'm going to let it hang out for about 10 minutes just to get the chill off. Chicken done. Okay, so I'm going to use my little caldero pot. This is like a 3.2 or 3.9 caldero pot. I will put it in the link below if you guys want to get one yourselves. Okay, so for my yellow rice seasoning, here's the mix that I'm using. This is 1.5 tablespoons of chicken bouillon powder. I have a quarter teaspoon of turmeric, that's going to give it that yellow color, a quarter teaspoon of cracked black pepper, a half teaspoon of onion powder, a half teaspoon of garlic powder, and just give that a mix. Okay, so things are crowded on my stovetop right now. Let's do the best we can here. So I'm going to add, obviously the rest of this bottle. It's about 2 tablespoons or so of cooking oil. I am going to be adding rinsed long grain rice. This is 1 cup of rice that I've rinsed under cold water and just sort of let it dry and drain. Now I'm going to add it to my oil here. It is preheated well, so I'm going to turn the heat down to about a medium-low heat and take my time browning this. This is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. You don't want to do this on high because things will burn. And what I am going to be adding today is some vermicelli noodles, little fideo here. I'm going to add a half cup to this. And same thing, keep stirring over a medium-low to low heat and get this nice and toasted and golden brown, or a light golden brown works. Okay, so this is almost there, but I want to start putting in my dried minced onion here. I'm actually going to add I have about 3 tablespoons of minced bell pepper. This is yellow bell pepper. Okay, so I'm going to work that in, saute it. I'm going to add I'm actually adding a tablespoon and a half of minced garlic. That's about 3 large cloves of garlic that I minced. So I'm going to saute this and keep browning the rice for another 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to I always like to do this, like to make 1 pan or 1 pot meals. Create a space, and now I'm going to add my chicken breast, my seasoned chicken breast right in there. Start browning that for about 2 minutes. It's not going to cook all the way through because, trust me, this rice is going to take about 18 minutes to cook. So the chicken breast will cook through, and these are not cut into large chunks either. And chicken breast, boneless, skinless, definitely doesn't take much time to cook. So I'm going to saute this and combine this for about a minute or so. Okay, so this is combined. I'm going to add my spice blend mix that I created. This is the Knorr chicken bouillon powder, turmeric, garlic, onion powder, some pepper. And things are going to go pretty quick from this point on. You're not going to burn the seasonings. It's just sort of to help warm them through because that's when it starts to really become fragrant. And I do have the heat at this point to a medium high. Okay, so now it has come up to a boil. I'm going to cover with a lid. I'm going to lower the heat. And I am going to cook this for somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes. Actually, this might take closer to 20 minutes. And after it's done, I am not going to lift the lid. I'm going to leave the lid closed and shut the heat off and let it set for another 5 to 10 minutes. Then I'm going to fluff and serve. Okay, so I'm making beans to go along with my chicken and rice today. So what I'm going to do is add about 1.5 tablespoons of oil to my preheating pan. Okay, so what I'm going to do is add 2 heaping tablespoons of minced bell pepper. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of finely minced garlic. And once you should have your oil preheated a bit hotter than what I'm working with, but it'll get there. So I'm also going to add 1 chopped Roma tomato. This was a medium-sized tomato. And recently there was a recall on onion, so I had to toss out all of my onion. But luckily I had dried minced onion, so that's what I'm using today. And that's 1 tablespoon. And now I'm just going to saute and cook this. Okay, I actually have this sauteing for about 3 minutes, but the burner on this side of the stove is like a medium-sized one, so if you're working with a larger burner and it gives off a lot more heat, then, you know, the cook time will vary. Okay, so now I'm going to add, this is probably about 4 cups of black beans. I recently did a video for frijoles de olla, and I boiled black beans. I'm gonna go in with 1/4 teaspoon of this onion salt blend that I have. Well, you know what, let's do 1/2. I'm gonna go in with some ground cumin to taste. I'm not measuring. You're doing this, just season how you like. Start with 1/4 teaspoon of that and work your way up to your preference. I'm going in with some paprika, same thing, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon. I'm gonna do like 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, salt. My beans were not heavily salted, so I am gonna add some salt and some cracked black pepper. I'm gonna mix this and let this simmer for about 20 minutes or so. I want these to get extra creamy, not necessarily mashed, and whatever I don't use today for a meal, I'm saving these and it's gonna go in tomorrow's meal. So stay tuned for the video tomorrow because because these will make an appearance. Cover it with the lid and just let these cook for about 20 minutes. It smells great already. Okay, so it has been around 18 minutes and my rice is done. I have not lifted the lid, so I'm shutting off the heat now, and I'm going to let this set for another 5 to 10 minutes. Do not lift the lid. So did you get that? Don't lift the lid. Today I got my seasoned black beans. These were frijoles de olla, and then I just stored them in the freezer, defrosted for today, and added some bell pepper, onion, garlic, tomato, seasonings. Okay, so time to lift the lid. And oh my gosh. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my spoon. A lot of people say to fluff with a fork. I like to use just whatever I'm going to serve it with. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.